There were numerous events in World War II, some of which are not recognized. The majority of people will assume that Germany was the worst and they killed the most people during the time. But how if I tell you that the Soviet Union also hurt a lot of innocent people during the turbulent 1940s? They made a decision that would have an effect on Lithuania history. I want to clarify this crucial historical moment. So, I'm going to show you evidence and examples and bring up to this question. How did the Soviet Union's decision to deport millions of Lithuanians during the 1940s affect the Lithuanian people? As a result of the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, which the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany signed in 1939 as a non-aggression pact, which led Lithuania join the Soviet Union. Many of the country's citizens opposed this course of action. Therefore, Stalin decided to remove those who did not accept surrender in order to fully occupy Lithuania. From the article Republic of Lithuania in 2003, the article mentioned that Sovietization continued with the arrival of Communist Party leaders to create a local party administration. The mass deportation movement of 1941 to 1942 exiled 29,000 families to Siberia and other remote parts of the Soviet Union. Official statistics state that more than 120,000 people were deported from Lithuania during this period. The Soviet Union's decision to send millions of Lithuanians elsewhere in the 1940s had a devastating effect on the people of Lithuania. Families are removed from their homes and communities, which causes emotions of trauma, loss, and displacement. Others suffered inhuman conditions in labor camps of the Soviet Union, while many died during the deportations. The Soviet Union expelled millions of Lithuanians from their country. Most of the Lithuanians were sent to Siberia to work, but the Soviets did not give them anything to eat or drink. Everything had to be earned by work. But they worked hard for a long time with only a little food. Lithuanians were beaten and even shot if they disobeyed orders. Lithuania also have no stoves or warm clothes in the cold Siberian weather, and many suffer from scurvy without vitamin and sunshine supplements. Dr. Dalia was one of the victims. In her book, Lithuanians by the Laptev Sea, she records that the others lay on the floor either swollen from starvation or no longer able to get up because of exhaustion and scurvy. Everyone without exception suffered from scurvy. We received no vitamin. Our teeth crumbled painlessly and blood flowed from our gums. This is what Lithuanians have to tolerate in Siberia. The book Between Shades of Grey also records the same thing as what the Lithuanian people suffered during the labor camp. There is some reason why they want to conquer the Lithuania. The Soviet Union wanted to acquire Lithuania in order to cope with possible Western rivals and enhance its position in Eastern Europe. The Soviets wanted Lithuania to work with the Soviet system of beliefs in order to control it. But because many Lithuanians resisted the Soviet system, the Soviets chose to expel those who were important in their community, such as teachers, scientists, thinkers, and philosophers. Also, the Soviets chose to kill certain groups in the Lithuanian population: the Christians, the Lutherans, the rich, and the patriots. Soviet leader Joseph Stalin viewed this group as the vilest and wanted to eradicate them in order to make the occupation of Lithuania eternal. This is how the masters recorded in the article. Since this individual were exiled, Lithuania had to rely upon Soviet assistance, which made it harder for them to resist the Soviet Union and eventually join them. The deportation of Lithuanians by the Soviet Union had a global connection. because it was a violation of human rights. It was not unique to Lithuania. The deportation was just one example of violent repression of citizens. The same thing also happened in history. The expulsion of the Indians from the Americans by the Europeans and the slaughter of the Jewish by the Germans were all violations of human rights. And it had a profound impact on both of them. The Lithuanians, who may never see their families again, and the loss of millions of people resulted in a loss of nation's culture. So, it also reminds people of the two important things. First is protecting human rights and not violating human rights. In conclusion, the Soviet Union's decision to expel millions of Lithuanians in 1940 had a significant impact on the country's population. The families were split from each other, which put them in terrible situations. The loss of scholars, scientists, and leaders destroyed Lithuania's social structure and stopped its development both technologically and culturally. The awful experiences that the people of Lithuania have gone through provide an alarming reminder of the importance of maintaining human rights and the necessity of putting a stop to additional violations. The deportations also let people know the brutality of Soviet politics and the extraordinary courage of the Lithuanian people when they are facing the challenges. Therefore, we need to advocate for equality for all, the banning of abuse in anyone's human rights, and also the defense of individual freedoms.